Second round matchups. Has some really good matchups here across the board, honestly. I think if we look at the Raptors versus the 76ers, I'm giving the edge to the Raptors simply because their superstar player, he doesn't crack. He doesn't make mistakes when the game is on the line. We're talking about an NBA Finals MVP. If you don't know who I'm talking about, it's Kawhi Leonard. He's an all-star superstar player on the defensive end, and he gives you 25 to 30 points a game. He's going to be checking Ben Simmons, a guy who cannot shoot. So that means that Kawhi Leonard's job is that much easier. He just has to get up on Ben because Ben is a great passer. He's great in the open court for the fast breaks. So if Kawhi sticks to his man and forces Ben Simmons into a shot or to give the ball up early, that plays into the Raptors' favor because behind Kawhi Leonard, you have Marc Gasol, who was also once an NBA All-Defensive Player. He won the Defensive Player of the Year award in the past. When we talk about the matchup of Marc Gasol and Joel Embiid, there aren't many centers in the league today who can match up with Joel's size and his weight. Marc Gasol is one of those players. So the only way Embiid can probably have the advantage is he might have to take Gasol away from the basket and then try to make his way to the basket with a dribble drive, which is what Joel likes to do sometimes. Joel also has a tendency to shoot a lot of threes. He's so skilled. He's so talented. Just get your big body down on the block by the basket and go to work, especially when Marc Gasol goes to the bench. So because Joel Embiid is just not durable, his health is always in question, because his decision-making can be a little bit off, and I think when the game is on the line, sometimes he makes questionable decisions, and because Ben Simmons cannot shoot and he's a liability, I'm giving the edge to the Raptors. I say the Raptors win the series probably 4-2, and I'm being very lenient in giving the 76ers 2 games. I think the 2 games they can get, it will fall into the lap of Kyle Lowry. He has a tendency not to show up, and I think 1 or 2 games he's going to really drop the ball for his team, and it's going to allow the 76ers to win. Blazers and Nuggets. A lot of people are saying the Nuggets are this great team. I'm not a believer in the Nuggets just yet. I think they're a great regular season team. They just don't have enough experience. And I don't see any of their main players being capable of showing up in big games. You might get one to show up one game, but the rest of the team, they just aren't responding. They just don't have enough experience, and I don't think they have enough firepower to go at the Blazers. So I would give the Blazers the advantage in that matchup. I think Portland will win that 4-2. I think that the Denver Nuggets, they have a good team. They're just really young, and I just don't know who I can depend on for the Denver Nuggets. Maybe Jokic one game, maybe the next game is not him. Maybe it's Gary Harris or it's Jamal Murray. It's just I have too many questions with the Denver Nuggets. And so that's why I'm giving the edge to the Portland Trail Blazers. With the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors, if everyone is healthy, the Rockets really want this one because of what happened last season. But I just think that there's just too much firepower on the Warriors side. Durant is unstoppable. There's nobody on the Houston Rockets who can check Durant and slow him down. You might have to put Kenneth Faried on him, but Kenneth Faried can only do with so much. He's great with rebounding, great finishing around the basket, but he's never been known as a defensive stopper. Chris Paul is going to have his hands full with Stephen Curry. He's never been able to check Stephen Curry. Klay Thompson, you can put Klay on James Harden to kind of slow down Harden. And so with that being said, that's kind of the reason why I give the matchup to, I put the matchup in favor of the Warriors. They have too many people who can shoot threes. They have better defenders than the Rockets. The one area that the Rockets, I think, have the advantage is their bench and their role players. One thing I want to point out about this Warriors and Houston matchup is this. The Warriors have 3 superstars, right? Klay, Steph, and KD. Not to mention Draymond. So you can call it 4 stars, 4 superstars, right? The Rockets have 1 superstar. So I would bet, if I were a betting man, that one guy, James Harden, is not going to be able to bring it for 4 to 7 games the way the Warriors can do it, right? Like the Warriors, if Steph is off, KD can bring it. If KD's off, Klay can bring it. Steph, they just have too many players who can get you 25 to 30, whereas the Rockets, it's going to be James Harden. you live and die with James Harden, right? James has to get 30 plus and get at least 10 dimes for the Rockets to have a chance. In terms of role players in the bench, I think it's kind of a wash. Iguodala, Jerebko, Sean Livingston, Cook, right? Going up against Shumpert, PJ Tucker, Clint Capella. I mean, I think it's kind of even there. So I think the favor is going to be with the Warriors side. They just have too many stars, man. I think it'll be a compelling series. A compelling series. I think the Warriors would win it, and I think they'll win it probably taking 6 or 7 games to get the job done. Because again, the Rockets really want it, so I think they're going to play with just more anger, more intensity, and I think they're really going to go after the Warriors and make it an exciting series. But the Warriors win it probably in 6 or 7 games. Oh, Bucks and Celtics, I think this will be pretty quick. I think the Bucks should get rid of the Boston Celtics in 6 games. I think Boston has a team with better talent, but they have too many egos. And this late in the game where we're in the playoffs, and there's still this question about whose team is it? The younger players really want to get their opportunity. Is Kyrie going to give them a little more leeway? I just think all of those questions kind of plays into the favor of the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis is a walking 30, 10, and 10. There's nobody on the Boston Celtics who can check him. The only question I have, we all know the ball's going to be in Antetokounmpo's hands, right? So when he drives and you foul him and the game is on the line, I just question his jump shot making ability, and I question his free throws.